Opinion. Once again, opinion, as in not fact. We all have opinions. That doesn't mean that they're good. AMC Entertainment share price is being manipulated. This is by TMF Ultra Long. Well, the dude's ultra long. He should be on our side. Sean Williams is posted this morning. For nearly 6 months, retail investors have ruled the roost on Wall Street. Even though retail investors have been putting their money to work in the market for over 100 years, they have never had such an enormous impact on equity prices as they have in 21. All right, Reddit, Twitter, blah, 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 social media platforms. First, they want to affect a short squeeze, a short-term event. All right, they just defined that. In addition, for angling for a short squeeze, apes are of the opinion that Wall Street is purposely manipulating AMC's shares price. Per use any message board, you'll see multiple discussions on dark pool trading of AMC stock. The implications of naked short selling are about to bankrupt the business by shorting them into the ground. In other words, AMC retail investors see themselves on a mission to take on Wall Street manipulation, but the kicker is that manipulation is occurring. However, it's not coming from Wall Street. In my view, it appears that AMC's retail investors are the true source of share price manipulation. All right, what is this? This means that it's unlawful to try to defraud other investors through actions that would artificially affect the price of an underlying security. AMC investors will tell you they simply like the stock and that buying and holding of the company isn't illegal. I agree, and so does law. If AMC investors like the stock, they can buy as much as they want and hold for as long as they like. However, their actions on social media appear to point to the intentional interface of supply and demand of AMC shares. Specifically, Reddit traders are using a combination of hype, purposeful ignorance of fundamental operating data, and misinformation to artificially drive AMC share price. So this is the part right here. I mean, he even said he agrees, and I agree on this part, but it's the second one right here that doesn't make sense. You won't, hang on, maybe I should keep reading. However, how can I substantiate these claims, you ask? Just read Reddit or Twitter for post AMC. You won't have to look long for find that misleading or bullying tactics used to coerce compliance for those who bona fide yet coordinated pump and dump scheme. I don't agree. Like, and this is the part, because they think it's fraudulent in terms of like bullying, I guess he said, and also using purposeful ignorance of, okay, so first of all, purposeful ignorance of fundamental operating data. You don't have to invest on fundamental data. You can invest with whatever strategy you want. If you want to invest in a stock just because you like the ticker, you're like, that is a strategy. Nowhere in the world, in law, in the SEC, does it say that you have to invest on fundamental data. So if you ignore it, it doesn't matter. You do not have to invest on fundamental data. You can literally invest just because, I don't know, it's a Monday and you feel like buying Dave & Buster's because it's a Monday. This is stupid. This line right here, purposeful ignorance of fundamental operating data. Who cares? You do not have to invest based on a fundamental thesis. There are many day traders in this world for years and years and years who don't give a squat about fundamentals. They look at price action. There are price action traders. There are algorithmic traders. Right here, this is a stupid opinion because he damn well knows you do not have to invest. And don't let anyone out there tell you you have to. Is it a good strategy? Yes. There are people like Warren Buffett who have made billions of dollars based on fundamental operating data. It is one good strategy, but it is not the only strategy. And misinformation to artificially drive AMC shares price up. So for the second part, no, misinformation. We're doing the best to get accurate data. Do we get it right all the time? No. Do we sometimes get things wrong? Yes, as a community, there are things that we get wrong, but then there's also the part of the community that as soon as you realize it, you're like, oh, okay, I think this is the right information. Hence, we're arguing we want more data. We want the sources of truth. That's what this community is fighting for. We live for the day that we can get perfectly accurate data. That's what we want. So misinformation artificially, no, because this is the insinuation that there's like a malicious intent to it. When people put things up even if you're wrong, what matters is if you had malicious intent. If you are knowingly posting something that's inaccurate, yeah, no, that's sketchy. But for us to be like, hey, the short interest is almost 20%, or for us to say, hey, why is AMC on the threshold securities list? No, what are you talking about? How is that misinformation to artificially drive AMC's share price higher? That's us pointing out factual information, as in fact. That's not misinformation. It's not like the community at large is going around arguing that like, oh, no, like we're backing up what we're saying. We're like, no, we actually have this data source. And if you're someone out there spreading misinformation, I don't consider you to be part of the ape community. You can easily be, like I said, if you accidentally put something out there that you then find out is inaccurate, that is completely different. It is completely different than putting out things that are like, no, you know it's wrong and you're trying to get something. That's wrong. You should not be doing that. But for us to be like, yeah, no, the short interest is 19%. Like, and if we're just pointing out things that are like verifiable to the point of the SEC agreeing with us, how is that manipulation? Please, sir, please, Mr. Williams, riddle me that. What else did he say? You'll have to look to find the misleading or bullying tactics. I don't think it's misleading, and I don't think it's bullying. It's not like we're grabbing someone and like shoving them into a locker and like, you have to buy AMC. We're just saying, hey, this is what's going on. Ape Nation is buying AMC. Like, no one bullying. You can do what you want, folks. I preach that every single day. You are in charge of your own money. You buy when you want, you sell when you want. I guess I can't speak for Ape Nation at large, but if you consider yourself to be a part of Moon Gang, you better not be bullying. People are in charge of their own money. You can buy when you want, you can sell when you want, and it is 100% your own decision. No one else should have an influence on your financial decisions such as that. So that's stupid. Well, and pump and dump. I mean, we brought up that SEC thing. AMC is hyped incessantly on social media. But does he mean AMC is discussed incessantly on social media? Because that's two different things. Efforts to represent income statement balance sheets is stamped out by social media. Who cares? Efforts to present income statement and balance sheet data is stamped out by social media mob mentality. And tell me more. If I want to invest in stocks based on the lunar cycle, okay, what does that have to do with income statement and balance? Like he wrote multiple paragraphs about this. Who cares, dude? It does not matter. I can buy what I want. Imagine, like, seriously, imagine this. Why would this guy could write this argument on like the art world? Like, oh my God, someone just bought a Da Vinci for $50 million. Why would they do that? What is this painting's fundamental value? This painting is producing no revenue. Why would you possibly buy that? The art world is a scam. Like, what is he doing? Value is a philosophical debate. We think it has values because of the chance of a short squeeze. They think it has less value because of its fundamentals. Not like we're going to find out who's right, but that doesn't mean one's illegal and one's manipulation. This is the dumbest argument. Oh my God, this painting is not printing me money. How could you value this painting? What's its revenue? Misinformation and lies are the foundation of the movement. Let's go into this. Apes saved AMC. False. AMC saved itself by issuing hundreds of millions of shares and high interest debt earlier this year. Yeah, but they were able to do that because of the community. Do you really think that AMC would have been able to issue all of the shares without the Ape Nation? Wrong. Hedge fund shorting bankrupt companies. False. Hedge fund shorting bankrupt companies. False. Short selling and buyers are just folks hoping at different outcomes. The outcome is ultimately determined by the operating performance of the business. No matter how many shares institutional investors short, you can't drive a company into bankruptcy. Anyone telling you otherwise is lying to you. He's kind of right, but kind of wrong. Obviously, if you sell a lot, the stock goes down. So what does he mean? Wait, short selling are just folks hoping for different outcome. The outcome is ultimately determined by the operating performance of the business. No. It's the operating performance of the business can be correlated with the stock price, but not at all. There are currently stocks on the stock market, penny stocks, who are trading at a certain value, and all they've done is fill out the paperwork to trade on the stock market. That's all they've done. Like literally, they're like, okay, we did this, we're a stock. They're not a business. So is there a big correlation between operating performance of the business and its stock price? Yeah, you see that correlation, but it's not a rule at all. It's perception of value. There are many people out there that think Tesla is wildly overvalued, and there's a lot of people that think it's wildly undervalued. Some people are looking at lagging indicators. How was its revenue over the past couple quarters? Other people are looking at, hey, what could Tesla become 5 years from now? It's just a different perception in how we value things. No matter how many shares institutional investors short, they can't drive a company into bankruptcy. Well, why not? Yeah, well, yeah, if everyone in the world only decided to sell a stock, what do you think would happen to that stock if literally just no one was buying? It's weird. That's a weird argument. Hedge funds control mainstream media. AMC's retail investors want you to believe that every institutional investor is evil. That is a constant David versus Goliath. No, institutional investor. No, there's a small subsect of institutional investors that do. This isn't even our argument. Like the dude's arguing with things that aren't our argument. We think a small subset of Wall Street is doing illegal, illicit things. Do I think Wall Street at large is like evil? No, not at all. I think there are very reasonable, good. Like, I like what they can do. Wall Street has brought us good things. They've also brought us bad things. So the name of the game is to do the good things and stamp out the bad things. At large, we are not fighting all right here. Every institutional investor is evil. If you're on this live stream right now, you probably know that we're fans of BlackRock. BlackRock has a big long position on AMC. Like, that's just one example. We have never, ever said that every institutional investor is evil. We've never said that. He is making up an argument for us that we have never made up. We've never said that. Hedge funds line your pockets. Apes also regularly claim that any journalist, analyst, writer, television personality, and so on who doesn't precisely see eye to eye with them is being paid off by hedge fund and has hedge fund connections. So, all right, I do see a bit of that on social media. Like, as soon as there's something negative, they do get attacked by the community at large. But even that, my rebuttal to that would be Melissa Lee at CNBC. Trey went on there, and the original discussion with Melissa Lee, Sorkin, and Trey wasn't the best. But then we went back on and like we saw more eye to eye and had a discussion. So even there, I think there's a pretty reasonable counterexample that like, yeah, I do see sometimes people on Twitter like accusing everyone, but like, I don't think that's the community at large. And like, also, even if they were, it's an opinion. People can have an opinion. I could say whatever I want. That doesn't necessarily make me right. And it also doesn't make it manipulation. I could say that the sun is cold, and because the sun is cold, I don't know, we should short every solar panel company out there because I think the sun is cold. Yeah, well, like, it's an opinion. Is that manipulation though? Like, oh, this kid Matt said the sun's getting cold and solar panel companies are going to get destroyed. Let's short. Like, no, it's an opinion. People have an opinions. In America, we have freedom of speech. You can say what you want, even if it's right or wrong. I mean, what's that joke in The Big Short when they're talking to Ryan Gosling? They're like, if stupidity is illegal, let me know and I'll have my my brother-in-law arrested. Stupidity is not illegal, folks. It's the last time I checked. I mean, look at me. Stupid as all heck, and yet I'm still here, not in jail. Fundamentals don't matter. The operating performance and balance sheet of a company always matter. And if you don't think so, go to the Walk Washington Prime Group channel who have their evaporate overnight when a company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, protected on June 13th. Wallington Prime has been touted by Reddit traders for its high short squeeze potential just hours before filing for bankruptcy. But once again, high short squeeze potential has nothing to do with fundamental value. It's not a fundamental play. This dude is regurgitating his own argument and just like patting himself on the back of like, oh man, I'm such an intellectual titan. Let me just say fundamentals matter like 18 different ways in one article. He's just doing this to piss people off. Like this dude, I don't even think he necessarily believes what he's saying because there's no depth to the different forms of his argument. 18 different ways. He's just regurgitated that you should be trading on fundamentals. That's all this is. It's like, it's fundamentals, it's fundamentals, it's fundamentals. And then he's obfuscating the Ape Nation's argument. That's all this is. The dude thinks so highly of himself. He knows he just is going to get people to get pissy and respond. And he's just trying to grow his brand. Like, it's such a waste of time. Like, it's an opinion, you know? That's all this is. It's one opinion. And I think it's kind of funny. In a way, you could argue that it's self-defeating because he's saying that social media is bad because it's pumping up a stock. Well, in a way, like this is a news publication on the internet, so it's not that far away from social media. I would say it's pretty akin to social media, and he's trying to drive the price down. So really, like, is he just throwing stones from like a glass house here? Like, come on, man. He's saying people on the internet are saying really positive things and the stock is reacting well. I don't think it's right. So what if the opposite happened? What if everyone who is saying the stock should go down and the stock does go down, do they all go to jail? Is that manipulation? This is so stupid. Like him posting this is a self-cannibalizing argument because he's putting out something on the internet. And if it goes down, I could argue then that by his own argument, Sean Williams' argument that nope, he unduly influenced the stock and he actively was using information he knew wasn't true. Because right here, I pointed out things that we've never, ever said. We've never said that all institutional investors are evil. So that's a false piece of information. I would argue that if the stock now goes down, that's manipulation, Mr. Williams. We're like, it's his own stupid argument. It makes no sense. Now I'm just flustered. I don't want to look at that guy's face. I'm done with him. Done with him.